This 4x4 is driven by Jennifer Baarn, Head of Partnership at AGRA, and Jonathan Crouch, CEO and founder of ISDA Africa. It was recorded at the AGRF conference in Kigali in September 2022. It explores climate adaptation. Jennifer advocates for new business models and last-mile delivery, whilst Jonathan favours the private sector over projects for long-term sustainable solutions.
When it comes to actually technologies that are relevant for climate adaptation, I think first and foremost, it's data and information. It's only science-based, information-driven decision-making that will actually help our farmers and core champions across the ecosystem make the right choices when it comes to climate action and adaptation. For example, weather data. We know that unpredictable weathers actually increase the risk for our farmers but if we cannot even forecast what will happen, take corrective measures, etc., that only exposes many in the value chain to increased risk of not only flooding and drought, but just the unpredictability of weather patterns. So how can we make sure then that our farmers have access to this technology? You know, one of the things that I always say is that when it comes to technology, we have brilliant minds around the world who are really developing some of the best and most innovative technologies and products and also services that can be found. But really what is critical is the business model that helps us to deliver it to farmers in such a way that it is available, that they can adapt to it, that it's easy to pick up and to learn, and also that it is sustainable. So really we have to question, how do we cover the last mile to ensure that we expose our farmers to this type of technology? We know there has been all kinds of finance that have been unlocked to address climate adaptation and resilience, etc. But I think what we really need to look at in parallel is the last mile delivery to farmers. How are we setting up some of these models and what know-how and knowledge is actually being delivered in that space? Thank you.
I think the private sector is the way really to achieve scale in response to any of these major changes in the state of agricultural production. We're a startup, so I'm bound to say that sort of thing, but I think many of the philanthropic donors are going the same way, that they see a lot of project-based activities really not having long-term effects. And so if you really want to see large scale and to see a long-term sustainable change in anything, I think you've got to engage the marketplace.
The CASA programme is proud to be building partnerships across the world to drive investment for climate-resilient agri-food systems. Visit the events page, past events section, to hear other expert viewpoints shared in the CASA 4x4s and webinar series.